Hello and welcome to EyeOpener, powered by Siemens. On today's episode, I am delighted to be joined by Christina Schloter, Senior Marketing Manager at Siemens, where we are going to be discussing the topic of artificial intelligence within marketing. So big welcome to Christina. If you could start off by introducing yourself to our audience, that would be great.
Thanks for having me. My name is Christina. I'm doing vertical marketing at Siemens at the moment for a part called Industry Services. And I was responsible for the sensor integration communication last year. That's why I'm here today. So I'm really happy to finally meet you guys, all of you. And I'm working for Siemens for about 10 years now in different roles and different responsibilities. Most of the time I was working on digital topics such as MindSphere, AI services, industrial security services. And maybe that's why I decided to go to university again, 2.5 years. So I'm studying again. I'm 42 now. So I'm the oldest person at the university at the course I'm taking. And I'm doing some stuff about AI and digital transformation there.
So thank you so much for joining me on today's episode, Christina. Really looking forward to discussing this topic of artificial intelligence within marketing. And I just wanted to touch on what you mentioned. So you said that you recently went back to university to study. So it'll be very interesting to find some more information about what you've been doing and what the topic's been focused around.
So the subject is called Applied Artificial Intelligence and Digital Transformation, and it combines the two parts. So we do AI, like how to program code, for example, Python, using Python. And we did a small project last semester with a small company in Germany, trying to optimize their processes using AI, which was really, really interesting. And there are as well topics like new ways of working, digital leadership, new business models, and Industry 4.0, for example. So it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Which makes it really interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, if we think about into today's society with artificial intelligence, it's changed the way we operate, especially in the working environment, personal. So I guess what made you choose this topic of artificial intelligence, and why did you want to study in more detail around this?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it was just a coincidence, or it was not really planned. My profession changed. I did marketing and communication for about 15 years now. Okay. And when I started, we did like press releases, we organized events and stuff like that. And that changed. And I'm more a fact-based or fact-oriented person. Yeah. And you know that better than I do. If you do social media, it's more based on emotions. And this is not really what I am. And my job was always to prepare a stage for a CEO or whoever in the background. And now the job changed, like we're influencers. Yes. And this is something I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. This is one reason, so that my job perspective changed, or the role changed I'm doing. And the other way was just, I was curious. I mean, AI is the topic at the moment, or the topic that is changing almost everything, like the way we work, the way we live, societies, business, everything. Yeah. And when I got the opportunity to go deeper into that topic, it was just a chance I decided to take. And I'm happy I got the opportunity to do so, and that Siemens supported that. So I got the opportunity to work part-time for 1 year, and to combine that with my day-to-day business. So I'm really happy about that.
So I was going to touch into Siemens, in the Siemens world. So, you're studying and you're doing this topic around AI. How has that changed or maybe impacted your day-to-day role within Siemens?
It was really interesting because I got kind of an external perspective on my company. I mean, I'm working within Siemens for 10 years now, so I got a different perspective. Yeah. And it was really interesting that my day-to-day business and what I do at the university really linked together. So I learned things at the university in theory, which I already did at Siemens, and the other way around. And for me, it was perfect cooperation, Ergänzung. I don't know what's that in English, but it worked really well together. And it was interesting to see what we did at Siemens. We did good stuff, we did bad stuff, which is not recommended. Yeah. So it really got hand in hand. So it was really, for me, it was really, it's an amazing experience.
Yeah, I was going to say it's just a perfect combination.
Yeah, it's
it feels
perfect
like
combination.
the timing of the fact that you're learning about this artificial intelligence, it goes hand in hand with the way marketing has evolved as well. So it's relevant to the role that you're doing within Siemens, right? Because this whole topic of AI is changing the way we operate.
Yeah, we had one topic about social media marketing as well. So I learned the theory, and we do that. I do that in my daily business, and I decided to write my thesis within the field as well. So yeah.
Perfect. So just leading into so you mentioned your thesis that you've been writing. It'd be great to find out some more information around what you're writing about and the topics and
well, it's yeah, it's still a working title, so
right,
it's not
okay.
finalized.
Okay.
But I try to have a look at how you can use intent data within social media advertising. And I think I have to explain a bit further what is intent data. Yeah. So it's AI based. It's an algorithm called BIRD, which I really like the name because it's an abbreviation, but I like the name kind of. And it's using traces you leave when you research a topic on the web. Okay. And they can like analyze these data, and they can tell you exactly when a customer is interested in a new topic. And this is what it's really, for me, it's amazing because you know the right spot when a company enters the buying stage, and you could use that for advertising. Just a short example, when you, for example, a small company researches a topic, just as an example, for example, a small company starts with their digital transformation, and then the employees will start to do some research on that. They will go to websites, read white papers, listen to webinars or podcasts. Yeah. And this intent data can analyze that and can tell another, for example, Siemens, if the new company is interested in a topic. And this is, I think it's amazing. And what I do in my thesis is try to combine that with social media advertising. Okay. So we do LinkedIn advertisement and compare demographic audiences with the intent data audience, and to see which one performs better. And at the moment, well, it's really successful in the US. Okay. Because the data security stuff is different there. I'm not sure how it will work in Germany. And what is special, I mean, as I said, I'm working within the field of services, so I'm not sure how it will work for services. So this is what I try to find out. And while you, Sensor, you are part of that as well. We are using predictive maintenance as well.
From your perspective, Christina, what role does artificial intelligence play in this whole concept of digital transformation?
Well, from my perspective, data is the future, and I think it's the game changer at the moment. It's the most disruptive technology we have since the invention of the internet. The basic idea of AI is not new. So the first theories were made by Alan Turing in the 1950s, but it did not really succeed because data was not available. And now with IoT and, connected devices and the new storage capabilities, new IT equipment, stuff like that, we have the opportunity to use these data, and AI can really perform better on that. And I mean, AI is something we use in our daily life everywhere. I mean, your smartphone is based on AI, you know that, or your Netflix account, your Amazon account, whatever. It's all based on AI. So it's nothing really new. What I think, what is now coming up, that industry can use it in a better way than they did in the past, and I think there's a lot of potential, saving energy, saving costs, optimizing processes, like supporting employees with AI, and to go one step further. I mean, what I think the next big topic is robots or smart robots. What Elon Musk is working on at the moment. I know he's kind of a controversial person, but he's a visionary. So yeah. I think this might be the next big thing. So, yeah.
I mean, well, the thing is, you touch on this topic of robots. It's very interesting because you're seeing this take place in a lot of, I want to say, factories, especially if we focus on one industry, automotive. Yeah. You have all these robotics who are essentially doing the process of, when it comes to creating a vehicle, doing all of those technical elements which are combined. We kind of take this whole thing for granted because it's just given to us and we drive the car. But all the whole process beforehand in the warehouse, which is taking place, these robotic machines do it for you. Yeah. So this is why I say you touched on this whole point of improving efficiency and just the whole process, making it easier.
I think it making it easier, yeah. And you can collaborate in the future. You can even do that today. I mean, in the past you had those robots in a kind of a cage. I don't know how to say that. But now they're these smart robots where you can like work directly and humans can interact with them. And, humans don't have to lift heavy weights anymore in the future, stuff like that. So, it's another interesting topic we're touching here.
And I guess, from your personal experience, is there anything, so we touch on this topic of artificial intelligence. Is there anything that you have been inspired by or you've been influenced by previously before?
Well, when I'm a kid of the 80s, so I grew up with Star Trek: The Next Generation. So Commander Data, I don't know if you know him, he's an android. He was kind of not a role model. Captain Picard was kind of role model. But I mean, this was the first AI, or, the computer you had on the Enterprise. You just can talk to the computer, or the communicator devices they had, or the tricorders. I mean, this is not everything, but almost reality today. So this was kind of,
I mean, touching on this, this topic of AI, I'm sure you're aware of this hot topic of ChatGPT. Which seems to be everywhere, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to get your views on this tool that everyone seems to be using.
I admit I use it as well. I'm not sure if my professor should know that from university. And at the moment I'm testing it. And from my perspective, like if it comes to content, I do not trust it. So I try to do some research on content for my thesis, and this was wrong if I counter-checked it.
Okay.
So, and it's difficult because it does not tell you where the it's an it or she or he, I don't know, where it gets the information from. So I'm not convinced here totally, but it's great when it comes to rewriting a text or reworking an existing text. I think translation, I used a deep language in the past. I think that works much better. And what I know from my colleagues at university, they use it for programming code, and they say it's really, really good. Okay. And I heard from colleagues they use it even as a personal assistant for, I don't know, diet plans, stuff like that, or when they go on holidays, they ask ChatGPT, I'm going to whatever Munich, what can I do in Munich? So I think it's amazing where it is used at the moment. Yeah. But I do not fully trust it. I'm still kind of, it's a machine who supports me, but I am in control, and I control the text, for example. So I do not copy and paste blind. I check it. I always double check. Yeah.
I think this is the thing when it comes to AI tools, especially with the one that we just discussed now. There's a lot of talks around the whole topic of whether you can trust the source. And like you mentioned, you have to, I think this is still part of day to day in terms of what individuals do. You still have to check over what the answer is. Christina, do you have any examples of generative AI?
Yeah, well, ChatGPT is one example. Yeah. And you know that it can write articles like Shakespeare. You can tell him, just write me the article like Shakespeare did. This is what I really like. And I mean, generative AI is almost everywhere. Music is a big topic at the moment. I mean, Spotify, there's a lot of music done by AI. They found a way to copy the voice of Freddie Mercury, which I really like. So they can, And they found an old tape from John Lennon, and they made it possible. This is not generative AI, but they made it possible to separate the voice from John Lennon from the music itself. Okay. And then they could use his voice and record the song again. That's what I really like. So I think the ways here or the opportunities are amazing. And generative AI is used for, I think, pictures as well. You know, there was one picture where they arrested Trump, but he was never arrested. Or the Pope wearing a Balenciaga, I don't know how to pronounce that, coat, kind of, I don't know. But it was, for 2-3 days, it was on the media and people thought it was real. So this is kind of, I think it's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but a bit frightening as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to touch into that. It's scary because this links back to what we discussed before around whether or not you can trust this whole source of AI, and in this case, Chat GPT or anything which is put onto the media, internet, etc., newspaper. How do you know that it's real or not?
Yeah, I think quality content becomes more and more important, or sources that you can trust, and kind of a media competence. Yeah, you know, that where do I get the information from? Is this a source I can trust or not? And this is something we all have to learn, I think, or this is something students or even at school you have to teach the pupils to learn that. And they are already like, I don't know how to say, the counter tools. So there's a tool where you can check whether the text was written by ChatGPT or by a human. So yeah, it is changing. And there are things like deepfakes, for example, which frighten me as well. That you can produce a video with me talking, and I never said these things. So this is kind of, yeah, it will get interesting. Yeah.
So, Christina, on our previous episode, Ryan Falcini asked a question to our next guest on the show. And that question is focused around how dangerous do you think ChatGPT will be to jobs in the future, and what jobs in particular?
Yeah. Well, dangerous is a strong word here. I mean, when new technologies are coming up, people were always afraid. You know, in the past, people were afraid to use cars because they thought they would die after that. And now we do that every day. Or when the internet was invented, you know, people were afraid. So this is, I think, a normal discussion we have at the moment. Yeah. From my perspective, AI or ChatGPT is always, it's helping. It's just an assistant. It's something supporting me. And it's nothing dangerous. I don't fear it personally. I think it will make my life easier because it can support me, like writing short social media snippets or texts. Yeah. Or if I'm not, you know, if I can't find the right words, I just make a short draft and then it's reworking my text. So for me, it's just an Ergänzung. I don't know what's that in English. It's supporting me. So I'm not afraid. I think it will change, as I said, for example, in the area of social media. It will change day-to-day work here and will make things easier, a lot easier. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's a really, really great answer. It's interesting to touch on that whole topic of, you know, you feel that it would essentially improve efficiency within marketing to assist with a lot of that activity which is taking place. So from a content perspective,
it will improve efficiency, but you will still need humans, you know, because I'm in control, or we have to control if what it does or what it prepares or what it suggests, if that's right. So I would never, at the end, it's always a human person controlling the AI. So, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So, Christina, if you could ask our next guest on the show a question, what would it be?
Well, we are... in the European Union, they are discussing this AI Act at the moment about regulating AI. And I would be really interested how your next guest would say that I'm pro AI, but I would be really interested how he or she sees it, if AI is a threat or not, and if it should be regulated. From my perspective, it shouldn't, because I think it's just a technology, and a technology is never good or bad. It's the technology, and it's focusing on data and on neutral decisions. Yeah. It's always the humans, what is made of it. You know, Marie Curie, she invented like radioactivity and they built bombs, or Nobel, he invented like dynamite and what for, you know, support mining or railway or building streets, and they used it for war. So a new technology can always be used for good and for bad. And so, well, I would be really interested in if it should be regulated or not. So this would be my next question.
Really good question. And a big thank you, Christina, for joining me on today's episode. Really appreciate your insights into this whole topic of AI and digital transformation.
Thank you for having me. Thanks a lot.
So a big thank you to our audience for tuning in on today's episode. Please stay tuned for the next one in the series, and please like and subscribe to our channel, and hope to see you all soon.